Breaking the Silence, and I'm your host, Junia Clovis. Listen, today we have my very special guest and sister from childhood, none other than the owner of LSD Couture and the CEO of Dijon Leclerc, Lavika Wilson. Welcome.
Hi, honey. How are
Hi,
you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Girl.
Listen, when the show is over, make sure you give me the deets on this outfit,
Now,
okay?
say less. You have the plug. You got the plug. You got it.
Okay, so today we are just going to dive into the conversation. Give us a little, well, of course, I know, but let's give the audience. I know you from childhood, and when we came out of school, LSD Couture was birthed. Tell us about LSD Couture.
The crazy thing about that is LSD Couture was even birthed when I was in high school. So it started from there. I would go to my mom's clothing store, work every day after school,
Oh.
and that's where I got my love for fashion per se. And when I came out of school, I was like, hey, mom, you're selling bags. I want to sell clothing. So let's collaborate and do that.
Yeah.
So I worked for her for 1 year.
Okay.
I saved up, I think, the ASU drawer, because behemoths, we
Lo-
love a
love-
good ASU,
oh.
honey. So I was in an ASU, and it was 7,500 if I'm remembering
Politically
correctly,
correct.
right? And I got my first stock.
Okay.
And that's how I got started in the clothing industry.
You know, even me. I know they. I don't. I did when I started doing selling clothes. I didn't stop at 7,500, honey. So that's a pretty good number,
Right?
You said you did it by an A2, and it's still even as a young woman, just coming out of school. Partying back then was yeah. So tell me, how did you have the drive to save that money?
That's so crazy. The thing is, I just felt, you know what I fell in love with? I fell in love with the customer service. I fell in love with the people
Yes.
first. And that drove me to be my own boss and I don't know, it's something just came over me and I just felt the need to just do my own thing and go my own way.
So that's powerful. Okay. When, well, I used to shop from LSE, so you always had statement pieces.
Period.
Period. You've always had statement pieces, and I love a statement piece. So, based on just that, the quality that you brought in, I think the standard of people that you have, and even now, and consistent,
Yeah.
was that a standard of people that you were predominantly looking for?
No, that's what was attracted to me. Like the thing is, I always say in every business, no matter what you're still selling yourself.
Yeah.
So you have to be a people's person. You
Yeah.
have to know how to love on people, make sure that they're confident. You could be selling anything, but once you can make someone feel beautiful in something, that kind of sets you apart from the rest. The statement pieces were just the cherry on top.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So we did, I ain't gonna lie. Your girl could throw it on. Hello.
Hello?
So we did. We still do. We still do have the birthday looks, the show stopping looks. That's what we provide.
Okay, so let's fast forward a little bit. A few years later, I remember that me and you would have had a conversation. You say, "Sis, I going off to start sewing. I'm feeling to start sewing." And around that time, a lot may not know, but you are a strong woman of faith. And around that time, I would have just been converted into Christ, and I was walking very heavy with the Lord, and still is, but more so then because I was in a very vulnerable, desperate place. So, and you know what I mean. I'm still desperate, but then back then I was desperate. However, that's when I really knew the calling on your life. Tell me about your faith and how does faith surround your business? How did your faith, how did God bring you so far to this place?
Listen, everything is amazing how destiny just aligns.
Yeah.
And it sets itself up. Like it's just I can't explain it. but he just navigates you in a way.
Yeah.
And he pivots you to where he wants you to be. In school, I could remember, even we talked about the ASU earlier, I was in CV Bethel, and I would throw literally $2 ASUs. And we would get to $100 and stuff like that. And then I would take my mother's accessories that wasn't selling at the store, and I would sell them
At school.
as I would sell them at school, and I saw the smoke.
Yeah.
And then I just cultivated it, and God cultivated it, because I could remember walking into an establishment and going to buy certain things for the store, and he was like, "For a young person, you're really, really bold."
Yeah.
Like I say, listen, I have this drive just to go out there and get it, but it wasn't just a drive from me. It was a drive to be better, because I was always the black sheep. I was always the one, oh yeah, you ain't gonna make it, you ain't gonna make it, you ain't gonna do nothing, that type of thing.
Yeah, I
And
got it.
but the difference between me and others is the fact that I took that on, but I use that as fuel. I use it as a catalyst to push me to where I need to go, where I needed to be.
And truly believe when you are the rejected stone, because we share that alike, we share being the rejected one. Normally, well, the scriptures say it, and it don't lie. The corner, the rejected stone becomes the cornerstone. Okay? So the chief cornerstone, sorry. Politically correct, the chief cornerstone. Okay? And I believe this is how God sets things up.
It's something about being rejected.
It is something.
It's something about him and you being rejected and you not being. It's just something about it. The
Even
more they like, it's like the more they hate you, it's the more they
He
bless
loves
you.
you.
Like I remember telling somebody, if you even look at, I think it was, oh Lord, who it was in the Bible? I think it was Penina and even
Penina.
Penina and Hannah.
Yeah.
Even though Hannah was the one that was loved, I want you to look at, even though Penina wasn't a nice person, I want you to look at it. Because she was so hated by her husband. Don't forget, Hannah was loved by her husband.
Penina
But
wasn't.
Penina was hated by her husband. But God keep on blessing her with children. He keep on
Yes.
blessing her. It's something about being hated. Even with Rachel and, I think it was Rachel and Leah. Leah was hated, but look at what God did for her. He gets rain her down with children. And Rachel only had 2. But she was hated.
Yeah.
So it's something about being hated that God loves. He just tends to bless you the more they hate you.
That's powerful. That is powerful. Well, again, scripture don't lie. That's what and it brings us back to even Jesus. Jesus wasn't liked, honey. Jesus was not liked. And this is, his life was ministry, period. Okay, so let's move a little further. You see, let's dive into where you said you were rejected. Elaborate a bit more, just a small bit, of why did you feel rejected? I want to say, why did you feel that way?
Okay, so we go in there.
We go in there.
So we go in there. Okay.
We break into silence here.
Okay. So the reason why I say that is because I came up in a household, not in my present household,
Right.
but before my mother married, that type of thing, we were in a family home, that type of thing. Molestation was in the house.
Yeah.
And I could remember I went to my mom. My mom went to my aunt.
Yes.
And she said, this happened.
Yes.
And they called a family meeting, big family meeting, everybody there,
Only
everybody
business.
present, right?
Jesus.
Describe what happened. Tell them what happened. The next day, they had their own meeting and told my mommy, oh, you're not, don't go to the police. We don't want to bring shame to the family. And you know, once you bring something like that out, oh, everybody hates you.
Yeah, because you're supposed to be silent.
Oh, you're supposed to take that
To your
and go to
grave.
bed with that and leave that right there.
Even
So
as a
from
child.
then, oh, you hate it. You hate it. All the adults in the home, they hate you. You're being treated a certain way. And just off. They treat you off now. You have a stigma on your back, that type of thing. And then even with other family members, you would be called certain. It was just toxic. It was just toxic. And with my mother being young, she was, listen, if anybody know, I love that woman. And she can do no wrong in my eyes. So with her being the age she was, I get it. I respect it. And we have gotten to a place where we've moved past it, because I feel as though because of the situation she was in,
Yeah.
it was hard to navigate, and for her to be able to move and shake the she could not have done it at that time.
Understood. I could relate to that in the saying I was also molested. You know what I mean? So um, it wasn't until I started to really be vocal because I did feel rejected. I did feel neglected. I did feel alone. I wasn't safe. I did feel those ways. But as an adult, looking at the circumstances that, because I had no mom and I had no dad.
Wow.
My dad was around, but not around. My sister
Right.
raised me, and she was trying to figure this thing out too. We all was figuring this thing out, and she basically didn't see those things. It wasn't until recent I started to tell her some things. Even when I first told her that I was molested at the age of 12, the first words were, "Well, that's your fault,
Ooh.
because you wanted to leave my house to go live there." When every child wants its owner, you know what I mean? Every dog wants an owner. So in that time, I get what you just said, and it's powerful because people start to look down at you, and people start to say, you know what, that's good, or that's how you feel. But now, as a grown adult, even voicing, I realize, you know what happened was beyond your control. You cannot control what
No.
happened, and we can't control the narrative of your future.
Exactly.
I surely believe that everything that had happened to me from a child to now literally was setting me up for where I am right now today.
Yeah.
So, like you said earlier, it fuels you. It fuels a different drive.
I always tell persons, I'm not going to live my life based on a decision that you made. You made a decision to hurt me. So what am I going to do? Turn around and continue to spiral? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to spiral. I'm not going to give you that satisfaction. So yes, you made a decision. Now I have to make a decision for me. And I have to push through that, because I could remember going to school with girls that had been through the same situation, and they
Right.
were allowing boys to do certain things to them and to just be promiscuous and all this type of thing. But are you going to continue to go down that path? Don't let them fool you.
No.
Reel it in. Reel it in. Reel
But
it
then,
in.
to environment.
Yeah.
And then to what they see.
Yeah.
And you can't go past what you see. And then as a child, the mind of a child, it doesn't.
It's a bit different.
It's a bit different. I was no longer in the day speaking on something familiar, and I was telling my sister. I said to her, I said, you know what? What would, because I spoke to the guidance counselor about it, you know what I mean? And she wanted us to get
Have a
social
meeting.
service and
Yeah.
stuff like that in. And I'm like, look, I already know ain't nothing gonna happen. Let's not. And then two, I don't want to get beaten. I ain't into all of that. Just leave this right here. And because if you say I say something, I promise you I can say I ain't say nothing. So here we are. Something has come up, and it's almost like the same situation in this little girl's life, and she's not saying. So I said to my sister, I said, well, how can we? When I was a child, I heard her, and it's almost like I got frustrated with her because she wasn't hearing the alarm. And I think because maybe I experienced it,
You picked up on
I
it.
picked up a lot more. So I said to her, I said, you know what? In that moment, in her moment, because she said, if I say something, will they move me automatic? And I said, no, it's a process. It's a process. So she was like, well, I'm not going to say anything.
Right. Because that's fair, because you're still in that environment.
Yeah,
You
and
still have to be there.
it's a really broken system. And I think that's something that needs to be addressed to the powers that be. Let's fix that.
Listen, that's a pandemic by itself. That's its own.
Right?
That is a whole kettle of fish.
Yeah, definitely so. So moving forward, it will make you feel rejected. But you can take that rejection and turn that into literal power, and you are evidence of that.
Yeah.
See, even right now, you are breaking the silence even for me, because I didn't know these things. As much as she was my sister, I did not know
Yeah.
these things. So anyway, let's move forward. Next topic. So tell me, how did Dijon Leclerc, am I saying it right?
Yes, you did.
Dijon Leclerc.
You
'Cause
sure did.
it just rolls off the
Come
tongue.
on now.
Hello?
All right.
Listen, you had a beautiful bridal show a few weeks. I was
Thank you.
right front seat, please, 'cause I need to see
Uh-huh.
what's going
Yes.
on. Okay.
I want a 50-inch, honey.
Okay.
All right.
And oh yeah, I want a 50-inch TV. Forget me. I forget. Yes, because I know mommy name. Hello? Because she's my mommy too. And you know, I love her to pieces. Love her down, the most humblest woman. And tell us, how was Dijon Leclerc birthed?
So listen, another thing, like, okay, so the Jean Leclerc came about because I was tired of seeing everyone wearing the same thing. Like every time you go in every store,
It's
we
the
all
same
have the same things. You remember when all the pineapple shirts was
Oh,
sold out?
my God, and
Everybody
the
was
little
wearing a
bubble skirt.
pineapple shirt, and I was like, okay, God, I tired of seeing the same old thing. I was like, okay, I think I wanna make my own clothing. I was going to all of the fabric stores,
Yes.
buying fabric. I bought a machine, a little singer machine, and I just went to YouTube University. Yeah, and I learned how to sew. That was my first. That was my first
Encounter.
teacher was YouTube, and then I did an apprenticeship with 4 master tailors of Haitian origin.
Hello.
And
Did you
listen,
say it again?
of
Say it again.
Haitian origin.
Okay.
And when I remember I went to a Bahamian. She was a church member. I think the only thing she showed me to do was how to cut a shoulder,
My
like how to
Lord.
cut the shoulder slope. And then I remember I had this tailor, a Jamaican tailor, and he would alter all of my clients. Like if you come to the store and something was too big for you, I'd send you to him. And he was my tailor for 10 years.
I was a victim of that.
I went to him and I was like, hey, right. Trying to convince you to buy it. Like, girl, hold on, he could do a little, right? So I went to him. I was like, okay, can you help me? Someone told me to help them style this outfit and put it together. This is my vision. Can you help me? He was like, no. And I was like, you telling me no? For 10 years, he never tell me no. I didn't know what no was from him.
From him.
Never knew. No.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I understand. I'm stepping into his
His
world
world,
now,
yeah.
you know? And I could remember I went to Haley's Tailor Shop. That's
I know.
in
That's
the Grove,
that's the street.
across from Flowers. And listen, I say, y'all, someone please help me. I say, I really, he said, you want to learn? You really want to
Yeah.
learn? I say, I
He
really
was
want to
like that.
learn.
This was Haley?
No, it wasn't Haley. Haley had already died at
Okay,
that
so
time.
the dark guy at the front?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sweet
So I was like, I really want to learn. He said, you really want to learn? I said, I do. I was in there, and you know, the shop back then, they didn't have no AC.
No.
Lord, I was in there sweating.
'Cause you wanna learn.
It was but 8 Haitians. Me, hello.
And they teaching you.
Hello, and they teach. I going from table to table just learning, and I was in there for a year. He was like, "Yeah, you really want to learn." But at this time, I was already known in the fashion industry.
Right.
So I had 2 stores at the time, and then I turned the second store, the back room. I turned that into a sewing room. I can remember I went to Fields. I bought all of the machines. He was like, you really? He said, you don't know how to sew. He said, but you really gonna go buy? I said, yeah. I'm gonna go buy these things. And what was so crazy about it was 2019, rolling into 2020, and COVID was just about to hit. And I was like, I was learning, doing my little 1-2. And they put us on lockdown. And I was like, hold on. I see everybody saying there's a shortage of masks, this type of thing.
Yeah.
So I called just out of me going to the fabric store and getting little scrap pieces. I ended up meeting the owner of Commonwealth Fabrics.
Okay.
And you know my personality.
Yeah.
So we got cool, and I was like, let me call Tammy. And I went to let me backtrack. Sorry, I went to my mom. I said, Mommy, I think I want to sell masks.
Yeah.
So my mommy, being my mommy, she was like, girl, you don't go sell no mask, girl. When you look, these people think you Johnson or you like you or something, So I was like, Mommy, I could just do it. So I called Tommy. I was like, Tom, I said, can you open the stuff? We could say, we on lockdown. How are you supposed to open up? I said, that is a bleep, so we could figure it out. So he called somebody. He got us on the road.
Yeah.
I was the only one in the fabric store. I think it was me and one other lady. We was in there buying fabric by the bulk. So 2 weeks that we were on lockdown.
Yeah.
I was in my house sewing. and
Hold on.
cutting.
Disclaimer. Keep in mind, we in 2025.
Yeah.
So we gotta let that go because you did break the law, honey.
No, I didn't. Because guess what? If you were selling masks, you could have been on the road to do stuff like that. So no, I wasn't
Okay,
actually.
okay. So,
Yeah.
okay.
So
But you was buying fabric.
undisclaimed. No, we was buying fabric to sew masks.
Okay, undisclaimed.
So that's why we were allowed to be on the road. Yeah, no, we were allowed to be there because
Okay,
we
okay.
had that excuse.
Okay.
So, listen, I was in there, and the thing is, it was me and that lady. When the lockdown was over, after 2 weeks, I had about 500 masks made. And every mask sell out the first thing. I say, Lord, mommy, what this is? She said, girl, you better make some more masks. I say, see what I tell you?
You better
Hello?
use it no more.
Hello. So one store, the first day, made $3,000. The next store, when we counted, it was $2,400.
Wow.
In a space of, and that's what catapulted me in terms of being able to do certain things
Right.
with the sewing and all that stuff, buying material, because of that one instance. And I think, if I'm not correct, I don't want to misspeak, within that 2 weeks' time, of the height of buying the mask,
Yeah.
I would have made $35,000 in the space
Jesus.
of 2 weeks selling masks.
My
Commonwealth
God.
Bank was calling me. KFC called. I was like, how these people find my number
God.
to get these masks?
Yeah.
And I was like, look, and it's so crazy. I just started sewing.
Yeah.
And this is how God shows you where destiny is pushing you. He shows you, he highlights the pathway.
What a little small gesture.
Okay then. I just got into sewing.
Yeah.
2019. And then here comes COVID. I still don't know how to sew that well, but I can sew a mask.
Yeah.
I go online, I download a pattern, and I sew that mask, baby.
Yeah.
And then with my connections to Haley Taylor Shop and the different tailors,
Yes.
I was even able to wholesale more masks. So now my entrepreneurial mindset kick in within the sewing. Okay,
Right.
I can get you to sew this for me at a certain price at a wholesale cost, and I can resell it.
Yeah.
So therefore, listen, he's just so strategic. And while everybody else had to be closed within the clothing industry, God allowed me to be open the entire time because my mask was set up in the front of the store.
Yeah. Listen, now, to Jean Leclerc, I remember you traveling even for that.
Yeah.
And learning. I think you went to Africa?
Yeah, because you have to, even though you're self-taught, there are certain things that you don't know yourself because you're self-taught. So
Right.
therefore, you have to sharpen. You have to sharpen your skills. So I did go to Africa. I went to Vicky James masterclass.
Okay.
I also went to a school in Paris. I also went. I did some classes online.
Yeah.
Different stuff like that, just to take the skill where I needed it to be.
Now, Vika, I know you said you had made some funds from the mask, but when you were traveling to these places, was faith a part of? Was God a part of that journey?
He's always a part of it. He's always a part of it. He's always a part, because I don't know what it is about Christians. We have this
Fear of money.
we have this fear.
We fear.
You cannot be afraid to jump when you have God on your side. You cannot be afraid to move. The best person you could bet on is yourself. And if you
Jesus.
are a child of God, you know you have daddy's backing, and any father will back his child. So if he puts something in you, you have to go get it. You got to.
See, listen, I always say God is the mother, and the Bible says this. He is the mother to the motherless and the father to the fatherless. And also the scripture says, if your mother and father knows how to give good gifts, please tell me how my ultimate daddy don't know how to give me bigger gifts. Okay? So for me, I solely, my reliance, because honestly, with my story, I am the one that didn't graduate high school. I am the one that everyone
I didn't
did.
know that.
Huh?
I didn't know that.
No? Yeah. I'm the only one that didn't graduate high school, got pregnant at 16. I was the only one. The odds were stacked up against me. Stacked up. Just stacked up, and, I won't make it that far. And time after time after time, I have watched God literally show up in the smallest of ways to make something so small so great.
Real.
And there was times too, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like God forgot me in certain situations, in certain instances, because I give up a lot on certain things. Like when it starts to get overwhelming, I'm not interested. Let's move on. Okay, maybe that's not for me. But I have found now that we this is where God is driving me. He let me pass through all of those things so I could be equipped for where I am right now in
Yes.
every way, in every form.
Yeah.
And still meeting all walks of life and having a relationship with almost everyone in each with people in each industry. So though I thought I was giving up, it wasn't me giving up. It was season was over for that.
Yeah.
So like you said earlier, God is always a part of the story, even
He's
when it looks
always.
like you're not doing the right thing, or you're giving up too quickly, or you're doing something wrong. You think you're doing something wrong. You're overthinking. God is always, even in the smallest of things. So, Miss Lavika, tell me about right now. What is up and coming? And tell, before we conclude, tell someone who's watching in the audience, even if it's one person that you impact, spirit filled, give them a message of how to get started and how to stay grounded and use their pain into purpose.
I would say that I need you to hone your skills. Whatever it is that you feel that God has given you to do, no matter how small, cultivate it. Push it, push the barriers of it. Because I could remember I used to throw parties and do a little this and do a little that. But God led me to do my bridal show.
Yeah.
And I watched God blow it up because that was where he had me. He didn't have me to party. He wanted me to be in bridal. He wanted me to be in something set aside, something different that he could bless. And
Yes.
so I want you to find something that God can bless, something that he can pour himself into. And I want you to cultivate that gift and do not give up. Do not give up. I'm talking about push through the pain. Push through the pain, push through not being able to pay staff, push through school. I want you to be able to just overcome. And don't mind the naysayers, don't mind the family members talking, because it will be strangers who will support you.
Oh,
So
yeah.
don't be scared. Don't be scared to do it. Push through it.
That's powerful. So one more thing. Um, I know you were very firm in church. I'm pretty sure that you're still firm in church. Tell them that we can't, if we're following the steps of God, we cannot abandon the place of worship. We cannot forsake the gathering of the saints. That is also very imperative.
Yes.
So even though all of this success, all of this beautiful story that you have and overcoming, the foundation,
Yeah.
going a safe place, a safety net to go and worship freely under a leader that gave you the room to this greatness. Because honestly, there's some people that don't give you room to be great.
Yeah.
You know, and even if there was other mentors in leadership that gives you that safe space.
That would be Pastor Savalita Fowler from
Okay.
Final Hour. She is an amazing woman of God. She is a vessel that you can trust, and I could remember her prophesying to me and saying to me, hey, there's a gift that God wants to birth in you. And I still was trying to figure out the gift, and not until I saw me actively moving in it, something hit me one day and say, that's it there.
Right.
So you have to just be rooted in God.
Yes.
Even if you don't have to be perfect. We're not saying that you have to go to church every Sunday, but just make it your business to give him worship in a setting because there are some things that require it require something a bit higher, a
Right.
higher anointing, and sometimes it needs a corporate gathering as well, where 2 or 3 are gathered.
Yes.
So therefore, come into the house,
Please.
worship. You understand? And find somewhere where you can do that with love and freeness and not not feeling weighty.
Right. So thank you so much for coming in
Yes,
today,
darling.
Lavika. Listen, I've been blessed, and you have truly broken the silence here today, because there's plenty of the story that I did not know as long as I know you. So this is tea, honey. This is tea. Yes. So of course,
Thank
friend,
you, thank you,
thank you for having us.
You're doing an amazing job as well, and I'm super proud of you.
Oh,
Do
thank
your
you.
thing, girl.
Hello. Purpose, scared and all. Do it scared,
Hello.
but do it. Thank you for tuning in today. Until next time, see you later.